Well, hello everybody. This is AJ. I'm just checking in. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm out at the airport today. I'm going to swing it around so you can see the tower here. Check it out. Yep, there's the tower. We have a really small airport in our town, and there's not a lot going on. They've got the fire bombers every once in a while, and they've got Air Force training flights and stuff. But I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit today about what we're praying for. When you pray for something, of course, we're asking for God to bless. We're asking for God to bring breakthrough. We're asking for God to bring revelation. But have you ever thought the fact that every time we're asking for success, right? You know, we're not asking God, help us to fail, Lord, help us to fail. Lord, what we're asking is we're asking for God to help us to succeed. Bless us, direct us, and guide us. But one of the things that I wanted to bring up, and I had saw a video, and I'm going to put it in here, so it'll probably be running while I'm talking. But I saw a video of a little girl, and she was doing a soccer game, okay? So it'll be running back there, and then I'll pause the video. But what's going to happen is you'll see this little girl, if we were standing on the sidelines, and we're watching this girl play, we would be like, wow, she's terrible. She's so bad. We need to not have her playing in this position anymore. Or maybe we'll have her sitting on the bench or anything like that. But we would definitely not want her to be playing. Now, of course, she's younger and there's a lot of grace for younger kids. But can you imagine the whole idea that we get out and we try something and we try to succeed, we try to do the best we can, and we fail, all right? Then we maybe try something else and we fail. And then life comes and says, you're terrible at that. You get maybe people criticizing you. You get maybe people that are saying bad things about, how you're doing it. Maybe you should be doing it this way. So there's all this negativity. But think about this. Have you ever thought of the fact that the things that you go through in life, that there's some things that God wants you to fail at? Think about that. I know God never wants us to fail, right? But that's not true. There are things that we may do and we may try, and God's like, no, I don't want you doing that. I want you to understand that, one, maybe you're not good at that. I have something better for you. God always knows the exact things that He wants us to do. He knows the exact things that'll make us happy. He knows the exact things that'll make us content. And the biggest case for this is when you try something and you're like, okay, this was cool. And then there are things that you do in your life that you just get really, really excited about. And when all of a sudden you've discovered that thing, you've discovered whatever it is that special gift within you that God has given you, and you just I love doing this. Whether it's, if you look, as we back up a little bit, as you look at all the gifts in the Bible that God gives us, okay? So I'll put some up there. I'll put some Bible verses that you can look up. But these are gifts that God gives not only the church, but gives people, okay? Now, sometimes in our Christian walk, we go, you know what? I'm in a funk. I don't feel like I'm really doing what I should be doing for the Lord. I don't feel like I'm really satisfied. Maybe people are bouncing from church to church to church. Why do you think that is? I have a hypothesis, okay? So you can let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. Why do you think people are dissatisfied with their Christian walk? Why do you think they bounce from church to church? Why do you think they find themselves that they just are in that funk, okay? So I would offer you this. Because there are things that God has gifted us to do. In these verses, you can go and look and see some of these things. But there's things that God has gifted us to do, and we're not doing it. So no wonder we're not satisfied, right? So there are things that God gives us, and He wants us to be good at it. But He also, it's like, that's your gifting. That's your talent. That's the blessing that God gave you, and you're not doing it. So you sit there and you think, I'm not satisfied in church. I'm just not getting anything out of it. So I would ask you the question. Jesus always liked to answer a question with a question. So your question might be, how come I'm not getting anything out of church? My question would be, what are you doing in church? So the response might be, well, I go to church, I listen to the sermons, and then I go home. But if you're not teaching, if you're not an active part of doing things, maybe it's other ministry things, if you're not doing something, you could be missing out on the exact thing that would bring fullness and completeness to your Christian walk. Think about it. The idea that God gives you a special talent or ability and you're not using it. So no wonder you're not satisfied, because there's something inside of you that God is saying, you know what? I've gifted you to be doing something, to be active in something, and you're not doing it. And God is purposefully making it so you're not content. But that's okay, right? We get so confused with the idea. It's like, wait a minute, my non-contentness means something bad. It means that maybe the church isn't working out for me. It's like, no, your non-contentment might be that you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, that God has given you the gift to do. I would challenge you to do that. I would challenge you. I know that's a lot of do's in there, but I would challenge you to get out and check out those gifts that are in the Bible and discover, do you know which one you are? I had to really dig in and figure out. And after a while, it's funny too. You ask somebody else. So sit in a group with, say, 4 people from church, and you get together, you go have coffee, and you do an experiment. You ask each other to tell or to write down on a piece of paper. You say, you know what? If you can write down, here are the gifts, can you write down the gifts you think I have? And the amazing thing about this is that oftentimes other people will see our giftings and our things that God has blessed us with, where we might be humble. We're like, no, I'm not this or I'm not that. But other people are like, oh, yeah, you are. You're that. And so that's a good way to do it. It's a good revelation. That doesn't necessarily mean 100% that's your gift. But most of the time, God will confirm again and again when He wants you to either do something, be acting a certain way. But when it comes to gifts, God doesn't want to be a mystery. I think we get confused. We get with the idea that, I've got these gifts that God can give me, and they're in the Word, and I have to somehow go through all these hoops to figure out what it is. God doesn't want it to be that confusing. You know why? Because they're not for you. They're for everybody else. They're for the church. But because God gives those gifts to you to work through your life and to bless others, there is a connection that happens that makes it so our gifts get us pumped up. We get excited, we get happy, we get complete, we get peace when we're actively walking in the things that God's given us to do. So I hope this video encourages you today. I know I'm a little bit of a spaz here at the airport because it's a beautiful day and the wind's blowing, and I'm sitting here. It's been like 15-20 minutes and there's not one plane. I'm gonna have to, at least time my plane. I was gonna give you some shots of airplanes, but so much for that. All right, you guys have an awesome day. I will be checking in with you, but get with somebody that they can actually challenge you and show you maybe what they think your gifts are. All right, I appreciate it. If you can give me a likes and a thumbs up, that'd be awesome. Get the video out, get the channel out to other people, and God bless you. Have a great day.